I realized I just started the stream, but actually I remembered something I'm gonna do. That's gonna take a few minutes. Be right back. We are back. It's pretty cold outside.
How do you...
So many side quests, like what? I have like 3 side quests. Take a look at this map. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 side quests at least, maybe more. Maybe more than one in one location. That's really giving me some endgame feels. Oh yeah, I see 3 side quests here, awesome. Oh boy. I'll be at these for a while, I guess.
Good girl.
Nothing says endgame and stakes are high like endless side quests.
It'll do, girl. Run like the wind.
Bah. Oh, I picked the wrong path. What am I here to do? Spherical liquors.
You deserve a rest.
Nope, but maybe the enemies are recording, I don't know.
I need to deal with these ones first.
Oh, that's another one. Yeah, so it was just being guarded.
This is it. Right then. Dora should be somewhere nearby. Assuming she's still here.
The Guardians of the Flame were true friends to the rest. They fought our enemies, lined our barricades, joined us stone trolls.
Ah, Clive, I was just about to send for you.
You
I'd
don't
like you
say.
to take something to Sir Wade up in Eastpool. Seeds for planting. Thought it was about time they started growing their own food. I'll keep providing them with whatever they need in the meantime, of course. But if Eastpool's going to survive, it's got to be able to fend for itself. As of those poor bearers. They've lived their whole lives in servitude, but now they're their own masters. Small wonder they ain't got the foggiest how to provide for themselves. So it's up to us to teach them. And if you're wondering why you, well, the Wagoneers taking supplies up that way have been coming back with more and more reports of Akashic around the village of late. Sir Wade's putting a brave face on it, but I think even he's starting to worry. And if he's likely to share those concerns with anyone, it's you.
trying to see if I can see like people who have been banned or blacklisted or something from the stream somehow. Not seeing anything like that. I'm not even seeing the list of people in the chat. I can just see there's 2 people in the chat. It's very interesting. Let me Google about this. I'm seeing some people commenting having that same issue that they are like not able to participate in our stream, even though there doesn't seem to be any reason for it. A few people are commenting saying it on Reddit. Didn't see any issues there. I mean, any fixes. Seems to be a fairly common issue since several years ago even. But so far I'm not seeing anyone say what fixed it for them. But, let me get on desktop for a sec to see if it has more info on like the stream stuff. Yeah, unfortunately I didn't find anything useful in the stream settings.
All right.
Thanks. Wouldn't ask if I didn't have to. There. That should be enough to keep them in Gazal Greens for a few years at least.
Gizal greens.
Not the most mouth-watering crop, I'll admit. But they're hardy, they grow fast, and they fill a hole. Better that than something that'll wither away at first frost. And chocobos love 'em too, which is no small thing. When I say all of us need to pull together to get Eastpool back on its feet, I mean all of us. They ain't exactly succulent, but cook 'em right and they're just about bearable.
I'll take your word for it.
Anyway, Sir Wade'll know what to do with them. And if he don't, well, I'll go up there and show him myself.
I'm sure you will.
Get them Gazal green seeds up to Sir Wade in Eastpool, would you? And while you're there, ask him what the situation is with the Akash. Go over that way. He might actually tell you the truth.
Just because the heavens have gone to wreck and ruin, it don't mean we have to. Nearly done.
Convent stables. What am I doing here? Maybe I can't even do this because I have too many quests.
The world seems to be changing so fast lately I can hardly keep up. But what I do know is that there's more bad news than good. You can tell.
I need to do some other quests first.
I heard the Guardian say we're supposed to grow our own.
Ah, Lord Rossfield. What brings you to Eastpool?
A delivery from Martha.
These are Gazal green seeds. Martha's keen to cut the apron strings then, is she? I jest, of course. You see, I had thought we might be able to revive the old wheat fields, but they'd long since gone to seed, only without the seeds.
Martha was hoping you might be able to show the bearers how to plant and tend these, so that they'll be able to fend for themselves.
That's not a bad idea. These bearers had only recently escaped their bonds before we brought them here. They know little of freedom, of providing for themselves and their loved ones. Unless we teach them how to live like free men, I fear that all we have achieved in bringing them here is to exchange one master for another.
Today is Monday, how
Not that
hype is
myself
that?
and the Guardians have been the best example to them so far, subsisting almost entirely on Martha's charity as we do. It's about time we all started to provide for ourselves, bearers and Guardians alike. Unfortunately, we've been a little too busy of late to focus on much besides bolstering our defenses. There have been alarming reports of...
The Horde is closing in. They're coming, so wait, all of them.
Time it all. I
Oh,
thought
in
we'd
what
have more
sense?
time. Gather the men in the square. Send to the rest for reinforcements.
Are you still hungover
Yes, Sir Wade.
from the weekend?
The Horde.
A Kashek, a veritable legion of them. They've been seen prowling around the northern reaches for a while now. We don't have the numbers to hold back a swarm that size. I had hoped to build a perimeter wall so that myself and the Guardians might be able to defend the village, but...
Now you're out of time.
Precisely. If reinforcements from the rest arrive before they do, we may just scrape through, but I fear that's rather an enormous if.
What if you could call on reinforcements from Eastpool?
Is
You
that
mean the
still the
bears?
same
We
infection you
brought them
had?
here so
Like,
they
wasn't
might
that a while
live,
ago
not
already?
die fighting for their lives.
So wait. You said you lack men to defend the village. Are the bearers not men? Do they not wish to see Eastpool saved? Though they may not be trained soldiers like your guardians. What help they are able to offer could still prove the difference between victory and defeat.
I see.
You're right, my lord.
So, probably some
I will.
lingering
to them.
affliction from it. Check it out, whatever that is in English.
My friends, I humbly beg your aid.
Winter Shogun.
We Guardians are few and our enemies many. But I swear we can defeat them with you at our side.
They look very hyped as well.
To the slaughter. To
Well,
serve as
anyway, Monday
bait
isn't very hype anyway.
for those fiends so that you
It's probably the least
and your
hype
men might be
day of the
spared.
week, if I'm being completely honest.
And just
At least Tuesday I'm like, yay, it's sauna day. And then the weekend will be approaching, but weekend is still far away.
it's not worth dying for.
But it is worth fighting for. Sir Wade fights to give you lot a chance. Just like I do. Just like Sid does. We all wanted to give you a home where you could be free.
Wednesday isn't very hype.
You got one.
Thursday
didn't
is
you?
getting there
This
because
place.
it's close to Friday when I get my groceries
This
delivered.
is
And
your
of course
village.
Friday is hype because it's almost
Your
Saturday.
home.
It's the best day of the week.
If you don't fight to protect what's yours,
Monday doesn't really have anything going for it.
you know I'm right. This world wants to take everything from you. Everything.
It's
Homes,
this world's fault.
your freedom, your very lives. So then, are you going to stand by and let that happen to you?
No, ma'am.
Are you going to accept fate like good little Bran did and die, having never stood up for yourselves? Or will you fight like free men and women?
Well, that's a weapon to be sure. I guess it will work as a club. They look very hyped now. It was a rousing speech.
What are you doing?
All right. Give me a sword.
We don't have swords, we have pants.
I never dreamt I'd have a home of my own. And now that I have, I don't want to lose it. I will protect what's mine, or die trying.
Yes.
We all will. Free men and women.
I've never seen
fighting
this many
together.
side quests, that's like amazing. Oh, yeah.
For Eastpool! For Eastpool!
Thank you, Martha.
Don't mention it. Just promise me one thing. That you'll show them how freeborn fight.
Gladly.
Well, if it was numbers you were lacking, you certainly won't be now.
Thanks to you.
Me?
We'll go do some others.
Oh, I just love the sound of my own voice.
Lord Rossfield?
Who doesn't?
My lady? We're ready.
So what's the plan of action?
We'll divide our forces into several small detachments, each made up of guardians, bearers, and guards from the rest. These will position themselves at strategic points around the village. Upon engaging with the Akashic, each detachment will keep the creatures occupied as best they can, steadily retreating all the while.
You're going to lure them into the village.
I am. We will have neither the time nor the resources to treat the wounded, so injuries must be avoided at all costs. Instead, we will focus purely on defense at first. By coordinating our withdrawal through the use of messengers drawn from among the bearers, we will aim to have the swarm converge at a point of our choosing. With luck, that point will be the village square. The perfect place for our most able warriors to surround them and fall upon them. And for you and I to finish them off.
A sound plan, but one that'll require a leader with a cool head and strong nerves to coordinate the retreat.
Oh yeah.
I'd say you have both in abundance, Wade, but you'll be needed. Please.
Well, you
leave the
know
last
how
of
it
the
is.
fighting to
Now
me.
that I'm traveling again, it's kind of
And let
impossible
you
to
have all the
maintain
glory.
the skill level, so it's not very hype.
Then
And you
know
don't
what
play
you
for a
must
few
do.
months. You don't
We
remember the
work together.
builds anymore.
Everyone playing their part. Each shielding the other that no man might fall. That
Have to start from
Eastpool
zero.
might live on. For Rosaria.
For Rosaria!
We've no time to argue, my lord. I'll do as you ask.
And I will do as you ask.
Plus, I have many games to play. Pretty much,
Suppose
yeah.
we'd better do our bit too then, eh?
Right you are, Arthur.
I've been playing some Stormgate. I had some streams on Twitch. It's been like decent fun, but it's still far from the level of StarCraft 2 in terms of like tactics, micro potential, just like gameplay. Like I imagine something finished it. But it can be fun, especially if it gets like a good campaign and stuff. So many. It's kind of funny, like StarCraft 2 is an old game, but somehow it's hard to even make a new strategy game that even looks as good. Like that's actually something that boggles the mind.
Looks like that's the last of them.
Lord Rossfield,
Yeah, but that's
change of
even
plan.
with the consideration that the companies making these new games have the old Blizzard stuff. I guess they still had like 10 times the amount of resources available to make those games back then.
So Wade, how many
And
of
there
you should
isn't
remain
that
in
kind of
Eastpool?
funding for strategy games
Hard to
in
say.
this year.
My men are still facing some resistance, but I think the worst is behind us. I could order a detachment or two to fall back and...
No. Let them finish the job. You stay here too, Sir Wade. Your men need you. I'll go
Cat
after the
says,
girl. Join me
meow.
only when Eastpool is won.
If you're sure, my lord. May the Founder protect you.
Missä se pusu vinkuu? I guess she's gonna come here soon, I would guess, maybe. I don't know what she's finding about over there. Set Marcus first. No. last night was the first one when it was kinda slightly maybe thinking of drooling on me. It's been pretty fine so far.
Nearly done.
Search for doors.
Just because the heavens have gone to wreck and ruin, it don't mean we have to. Let's get this stall set out. I've got greens of all shapes and sizes. Colours. Come on inside, I'll introduce you to Martha.
I don't really know what I'm looking for here.
I want to know how to tell if the world's going to rack and ruin me. Look for busy
That's true.
bladesmiths.
The world seems to be changing so fast lately I can hardly keep up. But what I do know is that there's more bad news than good. You can tell that just by looking at people's faces.
Oh, here, I guess.
It's been a pleasure, Doris. Just like old times.
I'll give your
it was
offer some
her, okay.
thought, my lady.
Side quests are, as always,
How goes the
amazing.
investigation?
Sid, what brings you to Martha's Rest?
You. I heard you were out here on your own, tracking our slaver. I trust you're being careful.
Of course. And it had to be me. The bearers from the Dragon's Eyrie confirmed a long-held suspicion of mine that the slaver we've been tracking is an old acquaintance. She's no fool. If we'd come in force, she would have
I'm
spotted
low-key
us
kinda
straight
hyped
away
for
and
Eiyuden
vanished
Chronicles,
without a trace.
That was her
which
just
is
now,
the
wasn't
Suikoden
it?
successor.
So, was it a
If it
fruitful
was-
reunion?
If it's
I'd
gonna
say
be
so.
something on the level
She
of
tried to recruit me.
Suikoden 5, of course, maybe that's too much to hope for.
She's abducted
That
bearers
would actually
from
be
across
pretty
the
amazing.
region and is looking to smuggle them back into Sambrek. After her brush with those beastmen on the road to Northreach, she hired herself an Imperial escort, which she wants me to join. She's dangerous.
I have the
Sid,
PlayStation 5
but
version
I
coming
think
for
I
that
can
as well.
stop her.
Then I'm going with you. I'll take care of
Don't
the escort.
start
You can
her.
see the bearers to safety. Where are they?
The Baum Archers, soon to break camp. You go on ahead. I'll
Yep.
follow once I've sent word back to the hideaway. She asked me to join her at the Baum Archers. It's a wonder she still trusts me after everything that happened.
The people of the rest may seem to be in high spirits, but give them a little wine, a little company, and the tears soon begin to flow. Don't keep your woes to yourself, soldier. Open those floodgates. You'll feel the better for it, believe you me.
Faster! Can hardly make you up, plummets.
I haven't played like a really classical game like that for quite a while, so it could be a breath of fresh air. I haven't even read much about it, so I don't actually know if it's gonna be like proper turn-based and everything. I hope so. Let's see. I mean, Suikoden games, of course, have like a variety of different gameplay modes. People, the army management and whatever. But I'm talking about like the core gameplay.
There it is. With me, Torko.
What is making that noise about? In case he has like thrown up on the floor or something. Yo. I don't know if you can hear her. I'll lower the volume a little because it seems to like the noise coming from the TV. I don't know if it actually affects the volume on the stream or not. Okay, let's check up on her. See if there's any weird stuff. Okay. Looks like she was up for going to my back terrace. So, in other words, I guess he wanted some entertainment. Should see if she wants to come back in after a while.
All right. Back to Eastpool.
Well, yeah, I mean, Square has had so many RPG series that I've never even tried. So, I mean, and that's kind of the problem. I'm not very interested because I've never even tried the series, so it doesn't mean anything to me. Unlike Suikoden, which I know used to be awesome, so that gives me expectations.
Lord Rossfield, the Curl, is it?
It's dead.
Thank the Founder for that. And for you.
Like they have a new Legend of Mana or
We weren't
something
able
coming,
to
I
eradicate
think.
the rest of the Horde.
And that's like a long-running
I have
series, but
guardians
I've never
posted
played a
around
single
the
one
village
of them.
to keep watch for further attacks, but all seems quiet.
The name
for
sounds
now.
so generic, though.
I hesitate to say it, but I think it might be over.
I think it might.
Like, I don't want a generic RPG. I want a good one with a cool story. That's always the most important thing to me in an RPG.
We saved Eastpool. Thank you, my friends.
I see.
Thank you.
No, Sir Wade. It's us who should be thanking
Yeah, that
you.
doesn't sound too interesting.
You brought us together. Showed us what it means to fight for what you hold dear.
We never had nothing to call our own before. We didn't know what it meant to protect it, but now we do. We really do.
Forgive us.
We still don't have anything, but now we know
You
how
and
to
your
protect
people saved
what we don't
us.
have.
And still we doubted you. But there's no doubt in my mind anymore. We're free men now. So we have to start acting like it. We have to fight to protect what's ours. To protect Eastpool.
Yeah, the very fact that you can pick an origin character kind of tells you that it's not gonna have much depth story-wise.
And if anyone or anything tries to take it away,
they'll have us to answer to.
Come on then. Let's get to work.
This village isn't going to rebuild itself.
Well, I guess that's not exactly true if you think about like Baldur's Gate games. you can totally make your own character, but then it has so many choices that
Your father
the
took
story
pity on the
develops as you
bearer's
go.
plight, and I believe if he was still with us today,
So that wasn't
this
really a correct
is what he would have
statement,
wanted.
but
I believe you might be right.
usually in
I shall remain
JRPGs,
here, my
like the
lord,
story itself is more
and do what I
fixed,
can to
so
help rebuild the village.
when I hear that
After all,
you can
this
choose
is
your
my home
starting
now,
character,
too.
then it kind of makes me think
And I
that
could hardly call myself
your
East Pullian
interaction
if
in
I
the
didn't
story is
pull my
going to be
weight.
very limited.
I think you'll find it's East Pudlian, Sir Wade. But you should be proud all the same. I'll have to pull my weight too. Can't have the rest getting outclassed. Speaking of which, I ought to be getting back.
Can we continue to count on your support, Martha?
Of course, and I'll be counting
Of
on
course, I'm
yours
always
too.
speaking right.
Us Rosarians have got to stick together, haven't we?
Indeed we have.
And Clive, come by the Golden Stables when you get the chance. I ain't paid you for delivering them seeds yet.
All right. I will.
Lord Rossfield, do you remember our very first
I
mission together?
do. We killed some
Clearing the
goblins.
goblins from the Stillwind marshes.
How could I forget?
How could I forget? It was the best part of the game.
There's one sight that I shall never forget. You,
My
facing
dude,
off
brother.
against that giant morble. Not a trace of fear on your face. Since that day, there have been more than a few times when I felt like giving up. When the odds seemed so stacked in the enemy's favor, I thought I may as well just lay down my sword and surrender. But every time, I would think back to the look in your eyes that day and remember what it means to be a shield. Know that whatever trials Eastpool may face, I shall never lose courage. Thanks to you.
So Wade, you have always been a true shield. I know that Eastpool, and indeed all of Rosaria, will be safe in your hands.
Thank you, my lord. I know the rest of the world will be safe in yours.
I'll do my best.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you again for all you've done for me and mine. my
they're
lord.
just increasing
You
the
may rest
number of
assured
them
that
at this
Eastpool
point.
will be safe in my hands.
I mean, it's kind of like the final missions of each side quest storyline, kind of, but those have all been kind of whatever, so you're not really like hyped for their epic conclusion.
The hero returns. It's lucky you came by when you did, eh? Not only did my seeds get delivered, but you went and saved Eastpool and all.
I just did what I could.
And it's only right that you get rewarded for it. Take it before I change my mind.
Thank you, Martha.
So, Eastpool's finally back on its feet again. And a home to free bearers. Who'd have thought we'd see the day, eh?
Well, it was your idea.
I know that, but I never stopped to think what it would mean. Bearers in charge of themselves, thinking for themselves, working for themselves. Like your hideaway, but not even hidden away. Though I suppose the rest ain't much different nowadays. You know, bearers living free like that reminds me of when I first met Sid. Loath as I am to recall that particular day.
I take it you didn't always see eye to eye. What happened?
Alright.
Well, if you really want to know, I started doing what I do long before I met Sid. In fact, that's how I met him. Or at least how he came to meet me. He showed up at the stables one day, asking questions about who'd been buying up bearers. Founder knows what he thought I was doing with them. Running a hunt, poking around in their innards. Something awful anyway. Me, I thought he was a new constable. Thought the game was up. But somehow we both managed to work out what each other was about. And before I knew it, the cheeky arse was rattling on at me about how I was doing it all wrong. After all my hard work. Told me I was giving them relief, but
Hello,
not freedom.
Doing fine,
That my
thanks.
bearers were still dying as
What's up?
slaves. Got right under my skin, it did. Told him if he didn't like it, he could bugger off and report me to the garrison. And do you know what he did? He smiled. And then he laughed. And then I did the same.
Oh.
We made a pact that day.
I guess
But
I can
whenever
lower my
one of us
TV
was
volume a
in
little,
need,
so
the
it
other
won't
would
come
always be there
through
for
the
him.
And you
speaker. Thanks for telling me.
Well, we both wanted the same thing. To make life better for bearers. Just like your dad. Do you know, I was born right around the time Elwyn became Archduke. Growing up, I
Yep,
saw how
hopefully
he
it's better
tried to
now.
change things. He certainly didn't lack for ambition, that one.
Indeed. But the loftier one's ambitions, the harder they are to achieve.
From
Which is why
Finland.
those of us who follow in their footsteps need to finish what people like Sid and my father started.
Welcome to the
Suppose
stream.
you're right, aye. And if we don't manage it, there's always them who come
I'm
after
somewhere
us.
pretty close to the
Good thing
end
we've
of
got a
Final
few
Fantasy 16, I
half-decent
would wager.
sorts waiting in the wings, eh? It's almost enough to give you a little
Enjoying
bit of
a
hope.
little bit of side questing.
Just a little.
Nice.
Anyway,
Have you played 16?
enough nattering. Better get back to work. Let's see about making everyone some dinner, shall we? The least the folks who saved Eastpool deserve is a hot meal. And you and me ain't gonna save the world on an empty stomach neither.
That sounds like a wonderful idea.
Yay, got a trophy. Very important.
Don't worry, Clive. You went alone in this fight. Whenever you find yourself in need, be it of money, men, or a bowl of hot stew, the stable's door is always open.
Let's see what's next. That's kind of far. Maybe I can get there from here. Nice. Been a while since I played that one. Hello to Germany. By all accounts, Final Fantasy 15 is better now than it was at launch. But still not quite really what it was supposed to be originally. But should be a pretty fun time, I guess.
Faster!
I'm kinda mixed on 16, like... The main story is cool enough, the boss battles are extremely epic.
Good. They haven't broken camp yet.
Without all these side quests
Doris
breaking
come to
down
know
the
a
tempo,
slaver,
it's
I
an
wonder.
extremely easy game to recommend.
We've waited long enough. She's not coming. Ready the bearers. We're leaving.
Back to civilization, is it, Mom?
With all haste. Lest any of you lackwits start talking like these feckless bumpkins. I presume your men are ready. We've suffered too many delays as it is. Any more and I'll be docking your pay.
Yes, Mom.
Oh, but before you go, it appears we have company. Kill him.
A small sided note.
You're welcome to try.
Actually, I'm relatively casual. Well, not exactly casual, I wouldn't go that far, but I'm also not like a super combatant player. Mostly winging it.
So much for your escort.
You'll forgive me for not avenging my men. I'm not the swordswoman I used to be. I surrender. Do with me as you wish, Sid the Outlaw.
Why is everyone hitting on us?
Ah, Doris. I take it you're not here to rescue me from our brooding renegade? You know, I always wondered where you'd vanished to. But casting your lot with this criminal of all people.
Better fighting for a cause than killing for coin. I'm sorry, Sid. I should have told you sooner. This woman, my former master, once trained bearer children to be weapons in service of the highest bidder. She raised me like a daughter, and I did terrible things to earn her favor.
It wasn't all terrible, surely. We had our fun, too. You were always so eager to learn, and had such clever hands. All my other children took either to the blade or to the books. Always either or. But you proved yourself a master of both. That's why I kept you for my own. How about it, my little dagger? Care to swear that blade to me again?
I never swore my blade to you, nor will I ever. I fight for a higher cause.
The cat's one's back in.
To liberate the...
Just a sec. I guess it's too cold outside for her to enjoy the air for very long. So she's back to meowing at me.
Powers of this world. Farewell, Master. Thank you for making me the weapon I am.
You always were a righteous child. Perhaps that's the reason I loved you so.
What do you want to do with her?
Pink
I'm
blush.
not the killer she wanted me to be.
I'm not sure what you are referring to exactly.
She no longer has friends in high places. The Dame does, though.
Oh, I see.
Her connections at the Imperial
I guess
Court
that's
will see
some
that
like
justice is
cosmetics.
done.
I'm not very knowledgeable about them.
If you're certain.
I am. And thank you for everything. Now, I better let these bearers know that they're safe.
I see. Hope you find something nice.
Then I should head back to the hideaway and put Cole's mind at ease.
I think people should wear whatever makeup they like themselves. And if they're comfortable
Welcome back,
in their makeup, then that's
Doris's
what I like.
message just arrived. I hear you saved more bearers from being smuggled across the border.
With any luck, they'll be joining us in the hideaway shortly. Oh, and your letter. You don't need to worry about Doris anymore.
I'd been hoping as
Turquoise,
much.
that's
She
an
mentioned one or
interesting
two
color.
things in her report. So the slaver we'd been chasing all these months was her former master. Wish I'd known. She's been arrested, by the way, over in Sunbreak. Went quietly, or
Went
so
quietly
we're
into the night.
told. She won't be getting off lightly. The Empire may have no love for bearers, but it's none too fond of black market traders either. Can't have been easy for Doris.
I'm sure it wasn't. But don't worry. She'll be all right.
Hope so. Suppose you should know, eh? You had quite the past yourself before you came here, or so I understand. Anyway, thanks again, Sid. The Cursebreakers would be lost without Doris. And you, of course.
Keep up the good work, Cole.
Yeah, that's cool. It's kinda hard for me to comment on any specific makeup.
Covered in nicks and lumps, the lot of them.
But I hope you find something that you like. So many of them. Still so many of them. The cat is being very noisy. Let's see if she's gonna jump on me. You can enjoy her commentary as well. So we got one of those orbs after fighting some monster here, I guess.
Run like the wind. This might take a while. Two down, one to go.
Let's go visit our dear friend.
Just to numb your tongue up.
There were ghosts at the gates not days ago. Those things I said before about not being able to fight.
You didn't mean them. I know. That's not the man you are. The man I love.
We're still alive, aren't we?
Yeah, but only because of the dame. Will that be enough next time?
So many were injured. Only by the grace of the goddess did so few succumb to their wounds.
I'd say it was more the grace of the dame. But help's help, eh?
Oh, Clive. What am I to do? My wards and I may soon be without a home.
What's happened?
The High Cardinal has descended from his lofty throne and taken up residence here in Northreach.
The High Cardinal?
Leader of the Council of Elders, second only to his Radiance at the head of the Imperial government. Not that any of those things still exist. Now he goes by his noble title, the Duke of Oriflamme.
And what does he want with Northreach?
He wants to transform it into a military stronghold, a foundation upon which to build a new Sambrec. He's already secured the support of the various army remnants, with promises that they shall be afforded the respect they deserve in his empire. One built on the confiscated property of the people.
He would rob the populace to pay for it.
Believe me, I have used every means of persuasion to discourage him from this folly. But for whatever reason, he will not listen to me.
What does Captain Philippe make of this? When the town was under attack, it was him the soldiers rallied around. Couldn't he use that influence again?
How? By speaking out against one of the most powerful men in Sambrec. A man whose stated aim is to revive the empire Philippe's comrades swore to serve, and to improve the soldiers' lot within it. The captain can offer them a regular supply of gruel, and an occasional trip to the Vale to help them forget the terrors they face each day. The Duke offers them a vision of strength and safety. No. Any attempt to incite mutiny would cost Philippe the support of his men, if it did not cost him his life. But given the mood around town, mutiny may yet be unavoidable. The people have little appetite for further deprivation, least of all when it serves only to elevate others.
And who could blame them?
I haven't played them. I actually got Alan Wake 2 with my new GPU, but I haven't checked it out.
For your services to Northreach, you have the respect of the soldiers, and they will take you to His Eminence
Being
if you
Finnish
ask them.
developed games make them a bit more interesting. And they're pretty good by all accounts, but
from speaking your mind to them.
So many games to play.
Well, will you try? You could hardly fare any worse than I did.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, Clive.
Tell me then, where will I find this Duke of Oriflamme? In the garrison?
Overseeing the troops, yes.
All right. Wish me luck.
The fact that the soldiers trust you may well carry some weight with the Duke. He needs their support, after all. I only hope that you can make him see sense before he tears the town apart.
I may have met this Duke before, at the Remembrance Ceremony. Let's hope I didn't make a strong impression.
In the grand scale of things, this has been one of the more interesting side towns, maybe even the most interesting one. I don't know.
It's heartening to see that the Guard have rediscovered their purpose. I just hope they don't do anything stupid. We've lost enough people to those things.
Halt! Oh, sorry about that. You're the dame's man, aren't you? You got some business with the captain?
No, actually. With the Duke. I was hoping I might be able to speak with him.
We're under orders not to let any civilians pass. But you should be all right. His Eminence has heard all about you and your heroics. Wait here. I'll go and ask.
So, you are the sellsword who lent his aid to the garrison. The Empire owes you a debt, and I shall see it repaid. But tell me, is it wealth that you seek, or favor?
Neither, Your Eminence. I thought only to inquire about your plan to turn Northreach into a stronghold.
Ah, I see. You are worried the expanded garrison will render your services redundant. Yet you needn't be. A proud fighting man like yourself shall always have a place here. Pride of place, in fact. For too long has the contribution of the noble soldier been under-reckoned. But no more. For it is they who shall see the Holy Empire rebuilt, beginning right here in Northreach.
Why here, Your Eminence?
The town has been fortunate enough to escape largely unscathed from the recent troubles. Her defenses are sound, and her garrison well prepared. Which is more than can be said for Oriflamme or Twinside. The Empire wants for a capital, and I believe Northreach to be the perfect place. With Caer Norvent as her citadel. Once we have seen to the refortification of both the town and the castle, we need only build a wall around both to create a city that would be the envy of the twins. Plans are already underway for the construction. Soon enough, these thralls shall learn that they are no match for the might of Sanbreque.
I fear you underestimate how dangerous these creatures are, Your Eminence. Should they return in force, you will need all the people of Northreach to come together in defense of the town. Something they may be loath to do if they've been deprived of their worldly goods.
The people will do as their leaders command.
Of course they will.
Sanbreque is to be rebuilt. She will require a functioning government. One whose authority is beyond question. That is why this levy is necessary. So that any man who wishes to join the army might do so and be fed, outfitted, and paid as befits a defender of the Empire. And yet there are those who persist in peddling the treasonous lie that I seek to steal from the people and drive them from their homes.
I suspect they're afraid of losing what little they have left.
Precisely.
Hello.
The common folk have little and less, and you mean
Whether
to
you
deprive
are-
them of even that. You would sow the seeds of your new empire in your own salted earth.
Sabine, we have discussed this.
Yes, and I told you then how putting the empire before her citizens would lead only to revolt.
Without an empire, there are no citizens.
And in yours, there will be only beggars. Is that what Griga wills for her people?
Do not take her name in vain, Sabine.
I'll come back later. The citizens revolt. I wonder what the people really think of the Duke's plan. It wouldn't hurt to ask them, I suppose. Let's begin with those on the other side of the wall.
Sabine.
You're embarrassing yourself.
As long as you remain, the Veil will see to your needs.
It's heartening to see that the Guard have rediscovered their purpose. I just hope they don't do anything stupid. We've looked...
The legionaries lay limp and worn. Both heads and swords hung low.
I totally forgot there's a part here as well. He was here indeed earlier. Alright, thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a nice day. Or nice evening, I guess. The cat came back. Sure, welcome. My thank you. Status update, the cat has joined me on the sofa, but it's maintaining a cautious distance of 1 meter.
You needn't fret. The creatures
There were ghosts at the gates not days ago.
All right there. What is it you're after, sir?
Just your opinion, actually. I wondered what you thought of the Duke of Oriflamme.
Oh, him. Not much. None of us traders do. It's thanks to nobles like him that we had to set up shop this side of the wall in the first place. Couldn't have the rabble getting any closer to the holy capital, could they? And now he's trying to drive us out completely, threatening to take everything we got from us if we don't clear off. If the dame said she wanted him run out of town, I'd be straight through that checkpoint, tar bucket in hand. The Duke might have soldiers at his beck and call, but us common folk follow the dame, no one else.
Soldiers too craven to fight.
The dame certainly has a way with the men of the garrison. If only all our problems could be solved.
Why, your storm is as ripe as a midden hawk.
It's my damn bearer. He's gone and lost the touch.
I've been hearing a lot of talk about a certain Duke.
Nothing good, I'll wager. Going around acting like he owns the place. And with hardly a word to the dame. This is her town, not his.
I take it you'd rather she was in charge.
As far as I'm concerned, she still is. Just need his eminence to sod off back to Oriflamme.
These guys don't seem to like the Duke too much.
See anything you like? An excellent choice.
A question, if you don't mind. What do you think of the Duke of Oriflamme?
Don't get me started. You build a life for yourself somewhere, only for some noble to turn up and tell you you've got to hand it all over to him. If he thinks his name and his chains give him the right to empty our purses, he's in for a rude awakening. We'll do whatever it takes to keep what's ours. Whatever it takes.
Well, the people seem united enough. What about the soldiers?
Lots of talking here. The music is totally putting me to sleep. Citadel, capital, megalopolis.
There were ghosts at the gates not days ago.
everything in the capital.
You. You're the one who was talking to His Eminence.
On the Dame's behalf, yes. I was trying to persuade him not to take the people's goodwill for granted, but it seems my words fell on deaf ears. What do you think of his plans?
I'm a soldier, mate. He tells me what to do, not the other way round. Listen, I've got nothing but respect for the Dame, but I've got a family to look after. That's where my loyalties lie, not with the town or the Empire, but with my wife and children. If the Duke can get us the men and the equipment we need to fight off those blue-skinned bastards, I don't care how he does it. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the Dame, but I'm with the Duke on this one. If turning this place into a fortress is what it takes to protect my family...
As long as you remain, the Vale will see to your needs.
I hear the Duke of Oriflamme plans to turn this town into some sort of fortress. Do you think that's a good idea?
It's not for me to say. All I know is that unless the Emperor orders me otherwise, His Eminence's word is law. Look, no one likes all these taxes and tariffs, but empires don't come for free. Once Sandbreak is back on her feet, we'll all reap the benefits. What the common folk don't understand is, this is for them too. Either we turn the Empire back into a force to be reckoned with, or we live in fear the rest of our lives.
Once upon a time, there was a man who went to market to buy a bushelful of Gizal greens. When on his way home, a chocobo with a belly as fat as the moon appeared from behind a tree and devoured both bushel and man in one fell gulp. The end.
Fat chocobo.
That's not a very good story. How chocobo can go that big? Can it?
Excuse me, do you have a moment? I wondered if you'd mind sharing your thoughts on the Duke of Oriflamme.
Well, he's made a lot of enemies coming in the way he did. I mean, look around us. You can see the state the realm's in. The traders might not like having the screws put on them, but if they volunteered a few more of their hard-earned gil before things got bad, maybe they wouldn't have to. I think the Duke's got a point when he says rebuilding the Empire is the best way of making sure we're all protected. And if that means people who don't know one end of a sword from another have to make way for those who do, well, that's just how it goes.
Let's see what Philippe makes of all this. Captain, do you have a moment?
For you? Certainly. Clive, wasn't it? Thank you for last time. How can I help you?
I wanted to ask you about the Duke of Oriflamme. Do you intend to go along with his plan?
But to tell you the truth, I'm in two minds. It's my sworn duty as a captain of the Imperial Army to obey his orders. But I can't say I agree with him.
Philippe, I remember you saying that you became a soldier to protect the people you loved. The Dame included.
That's right, I did.
Well, she doesn't agree with the Duke's orders either. She thinks they could tear Northreach apart.
And she's probably right. Thank you, Clive. I know what I need to do now. Protecting the people I love is what matters. Doesn't matter how. Well, duty calls, so I better go. Thanks again.
It seems Philippe wants to do the right thing at least. I expect Isabel will be pleased to hear that, if nothing else.
A skip and a hop.
Ah, Clive. How did you fare? Were you able to speak with the Duke?
I was, but...
Have I ever considered not doing the side quests? Well, I remember when I started, they were like, you might want to just ignore the side quests, and that is reasonable like advice. Like, objectively speaking, the game experience would be better if you don't do the side quests. But you cannot really experience that without having done the side quests and having that point of comparison. So if you just skip them, you will feel like you're not playing the full game.
To be heard, Clive. To have a say in this new empire the Duke means to build.
Sadly, His Eminence values their obedience more than their opinions, and hopes to reassert the authority of the state. I fear he sees the people as mere pawns on his chessboard to be sacrificed for the greater good. Needless to say, they themselves are of a different opinion, and would rather their destinies were in your hands. The soldiers, meanwhile, are content to follow their orders. And not just because of the Duke's rank, but because of his vision.
Like, I guess you should play the game like it's intended with all of its quests.
I dare say I too would want nothing more than to see it rise from the ashes.
Thank you. At least you'll get the intended experience and can evaluate it on those fronts, I guess.
What happened to your uniform?
I handed it in, along with my resignation. Told the lads I wished them
Did the sound turn weird? I might have had my hand over the mic, maybe it distorted it.
Why?
Because I realized what really matters to me. Not following some nobleman's orders for the sake of it, but protecting what I care about. Protecting Northreach.
I don't remember what I was saying exactly, but
those monsters will return. But I'm certain they're not finished with us yet.
Basically, I guess
we need to be ready.
I would still say you should play the game as it's intended, even if it objectively makes it worse, because then you can evaluate it on its intended form or whatever.
There's no point following orders if they go against everything you believe.
Indeed.
All of us standing together. That has always been Northreach's best hope, and one which still lies within our grasp. We have only to turn our attentions to the true enemy. Thank you, Philippe, for showing me what I must do.
Anything for you.
I wonder what even happens if you haven't been doing all of the early side quests. I guess some of these quests wouldn't be available now, but...
I fear fear His
I don't
Eminence
know.
has loftier tasks in mind for the Guard.
Not at all. Be my guest.
Wouldn't be the first time.
There may be hope for Northreach yet. Especially with men like you and Philippe to champion our cause. I, for my part, shall continue to work upon the Duke, in the stubborn belief that I might still tempt him into joining hands. But I suspect I shall have to call upon your aid again. Until then, Clive.
Until then.
But the important question is, do you think the new DLC will have new side quests?
Proven a difficult conquest. Fortunately, I am nothing if not persistent. But, be that as it may, I might yet need you to press the point. Despite my repeated advances.
Still got a couple to do. I would guess it's more like the main story. But that's all I can really guess about it.
They're saying twin sides.
Ah, Clive. You'll be pleased to know that the negotiations are progressing well.
That is good news.
Yes. Our comrade in Randala has just sent word that the contract should be signed very soon. But I still have much and more to prepare. It's a huge undertaking moving this many bearers at once. You couldn't do me a quick favor, could you?
What is it this time?
Absolutely.
More wild beasts?
Nothing like that. I just need you to go over to the caravans and ask El how long we have until the bearers arrive. Find out exactly how much faster I need to get all these supplies moved.
All right. I'll go and ask.
Thanks, Clive. I owe you one.
Don't blame yourself, El. This is their fault, not yours.
I know, but...
No buts about it, all right?
Is something wrong?
Vonnie came to give me a message from our intermediary. The talks with the Republican army have fallen through. They've reached an agreement with the Silver Peak Consortium instead. Though prices have fallen of late, we deliberately offered above the going rate to try and deter other bidders. But the Consortium offered double what we did, and the army jumped at the chance.
You had no opportunity to make a counteroffer?
None at all. And we were so close.
El? What's happened? I saw Vonnie leaving. She didn't look happy.
And with good reason.
But I thought we were the only ones the Fist were speaking to about the bearers. How did the Consortium even find out about this?
It's not so surprising. They have ears all over the Republic. This isn't over. The Consortium will have to sell these bearers eventually, and at the price they paid, buyers will be few and far between. I'm going to Randalar myself.
Alone? You sure that's wise?
Are you offering to be my bodyguard? How kind. Meet me at the checkpoint near the capital gates. I'll send an owl ahead and request a meeting. You go to Cashlock, Theo, and get everything ready. We've waited far too long as it is. Even if I fail to free these bearers, there will be others. Someone needs to prepare the place and keep any prowling beasts at bay.
Oh, and that's me, is it? Well, it looks like I'm following orders till she gets back from meeting the Silver Peak Consortium. who've been doing their
It's
best to
kind of
undermine
funny
our
how
scheme.
the lighting
She'll
is
never join
dynamic even
Archbishop.
during the cutscene. So there's like
Oh, she said herself
cloud
she
shifting,
still has
so
plans
the
for
lighting in the
Cashlock, even
characters.
if this one falls through. She means to stay with us then. I can't say I'm not happy to hear it, but is this what she really wants?
You have to trust her.
You're right. It's what she wants now. And if Elle's off fighting for the cause, I should do my part too. So I bid you farewell and safe travels, my friend. I'll gather my men and leave for Cashlock. We'll make sure the place is well stocked and defended. You go to Randala and see if you can stop my sister biting the Consortium's heads off. If she won't consider her prospects, someone has to.
I'll do my best. All right. To Randalar then. And better not keep Eloise waiting.
What I wouldn't give for a hot meal.
Looks like this is the end of the road for us.
When are they gonna let us through?
Good girl. Run like the wind.
This piano music though. Why? Wild Noctis strikes again.
Thanks, Gal.
Right.
I hope I didn't keep you waiting. Did you arrange to speak with the Consortium?
Here they are now.
You wish to consult with me?
I did. It's about the bearers you recently purchased from the Fist. We had all but finished making arrangements to buy them ourselves. And then you stepped into the
Yeah,
fray.
for sure.
You misunderstand. The Consortium had an interest in purchasing them from the very first. It was only our regard for you that kept us from bidding. But your hesitancy in accepting our offer to you suggested that the regard was not mutual. And so we resumed our business.
I did not hesitate. I am simply not inclined to make such decisions without first giving them due consideration. But what is done is done. Come then. How much do you want for them?
Alas, you were too late yet again. We rarely take on such unconventional merchandise without a purchaser in mind. The bearers belong to him now.
Who is your buyer?
A trader from across the water. A most demanding fellow, if it's any consolation. He insisted the bearers be fed, dressed, even given their own bunks for the voyage over. That's what you get when you deal with continental types.
I wouldn't know.
Oh yes, the culture on the continent is quite different to ours. They pay good money for bearers not fit for the knacker's yard, and treat them like kings. But as long as they pay...
That does sound unusual. No matter then. If they've already left our shores, there's little that can be done. Allow me to withdraw my interest. And with it, my interest in joining your organization.
My associates will be sorry to hear that.
I'm sorry you weren't able to save them.
As am I. But I only have myself to blame. He was right, you see. The Silver Peak Consortium did intend to buy those bearers before I did. Their representative hinted at a possible purchase when he came to recruit me. I feigned interest in joining them in the hope he might be encouraged to tell me more, and he did just that. As soon as he left, I sent my own offer to Randalar.
So you never...
No. I entertained the Consortium's proposal solely so I could learn more about those bearers. But I was a fool to think they wouldn't find out. I knew exactly who I was dealing with.
You tried.
I did. And if what he said was true, the bearers are to be well treated. Which is something, at least. But they deserved more. I wanted so badly to see them freed.
Eloise! Eloise! Word from Cashlock. The village is under attack. A pack of beasts have come down from the mountains, and there's a dragon at its head. Theo and the others are trying to hold them off as best they can, but the odds are against them. They need help, and fast.
Theo!
I'll go on ahead.
Thank you, Clive. I'll gather some men and join you there. Just... make sure he's safe.
Hold on, Theo.
Is that the one? There's so many quest markers everywhere now. It gets hard to keep track of the correct quest marker.
Good girl. Run like the wind.
Every day, young like Junesu. I missed a turn. Speaking of Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, Persona 3 Reloaded seems pretty popular. I'm seeing people posting about it and lots of search engine stuff all over the place as well. Like almost as much as for Final Fantasy 7. People seem to be having a good time with it. That's probably a decent number, I would guess. Oh yeah, I saw something about the player numbers, it seemed quite funny. Wait. The place I need is up there. It's not actually from here. Wow, that's what a confusing quest location. It's actually from here.
Come on. Fly, Ambrosia.
They seem to have updated a lot of social links. I don't know if the actual contents have really changed, but like a lot of the minutiae of them has changed, I think. DLC. Yeah, I mean, it was the first game with the social links, so while I don't really remember exactly how they worked, it makes sense that they were a bit more bare bones in 3.
That's all of them. No wine can uncross his toes now.
Oh, and that wasn't the correct quest either. Well, I'll just follow the markers and I'll eventually hit all of them. No. No, this is where I'm meant to go. But I got confused by another marker. Okay, cool. So many quest markers.
Ready, go? Faster!
Maybe by the time I get to it, it will have some nice Green Flute DLC. Oh, it's down there. I guess I can jump down, can I? Of course not.
Time to fight.
Indeed.
No need to ride from here.
Wait, I'm kind of whatever about. I mean, I know people want the answer. I already played it once. I don't think I need to play it again. It wasn't very good gameplay-wise to begin with.
Where's Theodore?
Upriver.
I mean, I guess updated Lapras would be nice,
that way
but
to keep it from the village, but the whole area's flooded with ether.
We just have to pray he makes it out in one piece.
I can do better than that. Torgal, with me.
oh, welcome back.
Theodore led the dragon upriver. God help him. I only hope he's still alive.
There's an ether flood up ahead. I know Theo's a bearer, but even he can't stay in there forever.
Oh, there's a new route here. Wait, wasn't... Oh, Lapis was in personal for Arena, right.
Let's go.
The music changed. By the way, in case you're wondering why I'm speaking to myself, my friend has a weird issue with YouTube where his comments aren't showing up in the channel, so he's just talking on Discord. What do you have for evening meal? I think I'll have some yogurt.
Where are you, Theo?
And as for my age, way too old. And only getting older every year.
All right.
What do we have here?
Damn it. Fuel is too thick.
Time for slaying. Well, not quite there yet. But in due time.
waste any more time. I need to find Theodore before that dragon does. Looks like it's found me. This thing's turned as well. This isn't going to be easy.
This looks like that dragon only fought earlier on. I guess it's a bit easier. It's getting staggered pretty fast. It's like frozen. Easy does it.
Clive? Theodore, you had me worried for...
Hello.
We have to get you out of here. I think it might be a little too late for that. Bearer or no, there's only so much ether a man can take, and that Drake just wouldn't let me leave. You have my thanks.
Not all quest lines have happy endings.
For finishing what I could not. For keeping Elle's dream. Theodore.
So will you!
Take care of my sister. Vito, wait. Goodbye. El.
Meditassi. Happiness of the end.
Thank you, Clive. I think I'll be all right now.
That was true bravery he showed. Leading the dragon away from the village like that. His first instinct was always to protect people. To put others' well-being before his own.
And now he's gone. Because I sent him to that place. Against his will.
It wasn't against his will. He was ready to do whatever it took to show you he could stand on his own. So that you would finally be free to live your own life.
To live my own life? He never could come to terms with the choice I made.
What exactly happened? You once told me Theo was the first bearer you ever helped.
We grew up in Canva. We were born to one of the great trading houses. And I was chosen to inherit the family business. I had my father's head for figures, you see.
I wonder if people go swimming in there.
Did not. While I studied the art of commerce, he played at soldiers instead. A late bloomer. In more ways than one. For unlike most bearers, it wasn't until his 15th summer that his powers awakened. My parents tried to drive him out of the house and into the care of the constables. But before they could, I took him into mine.
Theo told me something else. He clearly admired your devotion to the cause of freeing others like him from slavery. But he said you deserved a better life than this. He wanted to free you from what he called your bonds, just as you freed him from his.
I would be lying if I said I had not wondered from time to time how much easier my life might have been if I had allowed Theo to be taken and devoted myself to the family business instead. But I have never regretted the decision I made. Being with my brother meant more to me than tradition or reputation. I only had to look at him to remind myself of that night and the choice I made and the fact that I would make the same choice again in a heartbeat. He was never a burden. How could he even think that? If anything, I was the one who weighed him down.
You weren't, Eloise. He said it himself, that he had always been grateful to you for saving him, and that he wanted to repay you by letting you live the life you were denied. Neither you nor Theo weighed each other down. You loved one another. You did whatever was necessary to continue living your lives together, and you always would have.
You're right. All I ever wanted
All I ever did. It was so we could be together. Oh, Theo. Why did you have to...
I know Theo wanted me to move on, but I'm staying here at the Crimson Caravans to continue our work. We can make a difference here. We can help people, save them. I need nothing more from life than that. So I'll carry on doing what we do, ensuring that goods, people, bearers get where they need to be, bringing smiles to people's faces just like we always have, and to Theo's. Wherever he is. This is the life I have chosen. The life I will always choose.
I've made a choice of my own. To continue helping you however I can. Whenever you need it.
Thank you, Clive. Let's go on together then. For Theodore.
Only 5 quests to go. Collecting a lot of trophies.
The Crimson Caravans is my family business now, and I would not exchange it for the world. I brought Theo here to be safe, and I have never looked back since.
Minis up front.
Oh, you're here. August waiting for you inside.
So Dravost is still standing. For now, at least.
If you can swing a hammer...
The brass neck of that girl. Everyone's coming together to fight for their lives, and she hasn't lowered her prices a gill.
Clive! You're here!
And the Akashic?
Mostly off to the north still. But I spoke to Doris's scouts, and it turns out things are worse than
The
I thought.
main story, what happened in that
Got
again?
on Snotty to be ready to seal the north gate. That should buy us some time if we need it. Enough for the villagers to barricade themselves inside
It's
their
hard
homes
to
at
even
least.
say.
Well done.
Welcome back, Sid. I'd never have guessed, you know. Not if August hadn't let slip. Who'd have thought that the savior of Dravost would turn out to be the realm's most infamous outlaw? Keen to help us out again?
I am.
Thought you could sneak off without me, did you?
Blackthorn.
Oh, what are you doing here?
One of the scouts couldn't keep his voice down.
Yeah, I remember that. I'm not even sure what's like next in the main story.
Enough for us two to turn into a pair of old codgers, I see.
Then you write here an apology.
I think there are kind of just like it's time to
Don't listen to
recover our fortress
You
or
only did
whatever,
what you thought was
which is
best.
kind of just like
For the village and that.
side quest time with nothing specific to go forward.
Yeah. But that ain't the whole of it. Vulcan, our master, didn't leave the chiefdom to the two of us. He left it to me. The best blacksmith in Dravost, barring himself, of course. Bloody stupid tradition, in my opinion. If someone's got talent, you should let them practice their craft, not ask them to settle petty feuds and barter for grain. Our master wasted half his life that way. I wasn't about to let that happen to me.
So you wasted half of mine instead.
You're what Dravost needed. Under me and my precious ideals, this place wouldn't have lasted a year. So I left to devote myself to the work and spare you lot the consequences. I may be a selfish prick, but I only did what I felt I had to.
What you had to do was your duty!
Even if it meant we all starved?
Enough. This is no time for bickering. You can finish beating each other up once Dravoj is safe.
Fine. I've said my piece anyway. Yeah, so have I.
Sorry, Clive. I shouldn't have stuck my nose in. Short enough on time as it is. Still, give us a mo, would you? I need to get my head straight before any of them Akashic try to bite it off.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I can see the potential in a hideout. Like, indeed, games like Suikoden do it very well.
You, ready for the off, then?
We can't afford to waste any more time.
Right you are. Might be worth having one last word with the scouts, though. Don't want any nasty surprises, do we? Oh, and Blackthorn. You and Zoltan
And maybe all of these side quests would like recruit more people there, and then there's some big battle at the hideout, and the outcome depends on how well you have done in those.
And there are more coming up from the
That
mines.
could be an interesting angle, makes it more story related.
They'll wash right over us if we stay out in the open. We're pulling back behind the gates.
Good idea. Get yourselves inside, but keep your weapons handy.
Understood.
I'm prepared to fight if I have to.
Well, let's hope you don't. That's our job. Once the scouts are inside, order your men to barricade the gates. No heroic last stands, you hear me? No fighting at all if you can help it.
August's right. I've seen what Akashic beasts can do to armor. The people here are tough and willing, but they ain't equipped to face what's coming.
I'm going out there. Start work on the gate as soon as I've left. I'll give you as much time as I can.
And if they kill you?
You evacuate. But it won't come to that. I promise.
You'd better be right.
Take good care of Dravoj till I get back.
Leave it to me. And give those things what for, yeah?
Yeah. It's what I do. It's the only thing I do. Ooh.
All right. Which one of you's first? You're too slow.
But what interesting upgrade will I get from here? Oh my, it's gonna be a new crafting recipe that will give me +5 armor. I already know it because this is blacksmith related. Can't wait. Yeah, more enemies. Yeah, I mean, the combat is fine, but every battle is basically exactly the same, so just giving you more and more battles doesn't really do much.
Is that it?
every quest has like more enemies have appeared. Oh no, it's a fourth way.
Not getting past me.
Easy ottaneet sai tuijista pois noin samaa. But I guess it's kind of fitting that I usually don't even bother taking the new accessories I get. The crime looked like she was attacked. And the rewards from all of these are often jokes. But it's not like they can't give anything better, really.
No, the question is, did I miss any?
Well, I guess I wouldn't mind more ability points. You actually have like an infinite room for more ability points. I can't imagine anyone grinding enough to buy out all of those abilities.
I slew as many as I could.
As many as I could, he says. The old bleeding lot, more like it. Well, almost.
Only almost.
Yeah, one or two did try to sneak over the wall, but we got the bastards, don't you worry.
Good. Though you do know, more will come in time.
In time, yeah. But we can think about them later. Let's get you back inside.
Yeah, probably, but probably also not that much. Let's see. Yeah, I have enough for Giga Flare now. Anyway, unlearn. How do I unlearn? Reset all abilities doesn't sound right. Oh. What does mastering this even do? I can always use this anyway, can't I? So what's the point in mastering it? Now I should have finally 2 good abilities on my Garuda base. And I can swap out the really unpowered Mesmerize to hopefully better Diamond Dust. I'm kind of confused about this one. Did I always have Phoenix? I have Phoenix, but it doesn't have ignition. Where is ignition? Oh, it's here, okay. Yeah, this is still a bit weird for me, while like Phoenix is here if it is here, but they share abilities. So I'm using ignition and this one. Which means I can reset this one. And I'm not using anything from Garuda except the base ability. Oh, hang on, is this the... Titan... I think I'm not using anything from Titan at the moment, so I guess I can reset this one. And I'll be able to upgrade Diamond Dust, yay! Let's get my blacksmithing recipe reward.
Sid! You're even more fearsome than your reputation. Enough to give those Akashic monsters nightmares. I almost felt sorry for the wretched things. But mostly, I felt grateful. Dravost won't forget what you did today.
I'm afraid I've only delayed the inevitable.
How
There's
should
no
I
getting rid
know?
of that ether flood.
It's gonna be something that gives me 2
into
more
those mines will
defense
end up
points or
clawing
5
at
more
walls
attack.
again.
And that's if the flood don't spread. If it does, well, I hate to say it, but the village's days are numbered.
That may be, but
We're staying just the same. With ether floods springing up all over, it's no less safe than anywhere, and more importantly, it's our home. We'll fortify the gates to the north, and I'll see that they're guarded day and night.
All right. Then we'll give you a hand shoring up those defenses.
As for you, Blackthorn, that's twice you've turned up when Dravos needed you. So, thanks.
I shouldn't have stayed away so long. And I shouldn't have left without talking it over with you first.
Too bloody right you shouldn't. Though I doubt I'd have listened. I always envied you. How you made everything look so easy when for me it was anything but. You leaving gave me the perfect excuse to hate you. And from that day on, I never once stopped to wonder what it would have been like if you'd stayed. But what you said earlier, it was true. You'd have been the death of this place.
Finally, something we can agree on. I hope you see the sense of it eventually. You kept this place alive.
Alive, perhaps. Wealthy even, but Dravos isn't what it once was. Our work used to be the pride of Dalmekia. Now, we churn out the same rubbish day after day because it's easy and turns a profit. It's not about the craft anymore.
Oh yeah, I haven't checked
Send my sons to war
Shirakawa core lodgings for like 2 days. I guess they came available and then I checked them when I'm on PC again.
Sees the point. The average castle apprentice has as much passion for the craft as our current lot.
Them every day
Come back to us, Blackthorn.
Forgot.
Remind Dravos what a true master blacksmith looks like. I'll even man those bellows of yours if it means we can work at the same forge again.
That's a kind offer. Kinder than I deserve. And I wish I could accept, but I'm needed elsewhere. There's people who trust their lives to my steel, and I daren't let them down. But that doesn't mean I couldn't visit from time to time. Let's see if we can't rekindle this town's passion for the craft.
I'd like that.
I was saying that I forgot to check the Shirakawa core lodgings for like 2 days. I bet they became available and went right away. So I should check when I'm on PC again.
Anyway. Blackthorn. The Master Smith turned outlaw. Back in my good graces. I never thought I'd see the day.
I mean, at the moment, I'm not.
I'd say that went pretty well, wouldn't you?
Even better than I'd hoped. Sid, I've got something for you.
Thereabouts doesn't mean anything. Cracked anvil, who wouldn't want that junk?
This is a token of a lasting gratitude. But I'm of a mind to make you a far grander gift. Designs for a certain sword have been passed down from chief to chief for generations.
Now hold on, Sultan. There's a reason no one's made that blade in centuries. There's not been a craftsman equal to the task. I'll admit your cinders make impressive steel, and I've learned to own an edge Odin will be proud of. But the engravings on that thing are enough to make a jeweler cry. And they're not just for show, either.
Have you forgotten what brought you back to Dravos in the first place? A certain ring? I knew I'd never surpass you with a hammer.
I think there's less than 2 weeks until Final Fantasy VII Rebirth comes out, so it's actually cutting us a bit close. I have no idea how long DLC is. Have to try to do these sessions a bit more frequently.
I think you might be right. Clive, you wouldn't mind if Sultan came back to the Hideaway, would you?
He's more than welcome.
Really? Wow. That's... I thought I'm just doing like the final quests before the final mission, basically.
With a little help from Blackthorn, I don't see why we can't restore Dravos to its former glory. Barring ether floods, that is.
I'll get him back to the hideaway. Don't you worry about that.
I'll tell you what, Clive. If we pull this off, it will ruin every other sword you've ever held.
So many quests. They never end. And each of them will be exactly the same. Go somewhere and fight 3 waves of enemies.
Here's the scraps you're after.
It's inside here, what? Okay.
The bearer of the burning quill is within, my lord.
Pretty empty.
Lord Rosfield, is there aught the Undying might assist you with this day?
Perhaps. My brother said that your order was helping him with his quest to uncover Ultima's origins. Have you learned anything of note since last we spoke?
Little and less, I regret.
In that case, I'm definitely cutting it close.
Be assured, however, that we will not rest until the truth is known. Even now, our archaeologians scour ruins in every corner of the realm for traces of Ultima's touch.
Fallen ruins, I take it. Dating back as far as Phoenix Gate.
Indeed. Ultima's thralls are oft sighted among the remnants of the fallen civilization, as if protecting the secrets concealed within.
Secrets we'd see unearthed.
Should our methods be of interest, my lord, mayhap it would please you to observe some of our number at work.
Would that be possible?
Of course. A survey is being conducted not far from here. Perchance you are familiar with Kretov, a small hamlet built around a fallen airship. I was due to visit my colleagues there to collect their preliminary findings, but if you would consent to do so in my stead, I'm sure that they would be honored to relate any discoveries they have made to you directly.
All right. I'll go and meet with them.
They will be most gratified, I am sure. Might I suggest you take the road through Titan's Wake? It will lead you straight to the village after but a short walk.
Thank you. I will.
I wish you a safe journey, my lord. May the Firebird's flames burn ever in your heart. My colleagues await you in Kretov, my lord.
A village built around an airship. Sounds like another Lost Wing. I hope the inhabitants are just as friendly.
Well, I think I'm pretty safe in general now. With my Twitter filter. I'm not sure what you mean by the big one, so I don't want to know either. Yeah, I guess. But spoilers are a serious game. I'm reading them. Everything seems fine here.
Oh no. You'll pay for this. May still be survivors.
That was a bit complicated. When the dust got mounted, this looks good at least.
Petrol ready.
Just sure, why not?
Petrol ready.
That was pretty good petrol damage. Enjoy.
Should have stayed in the past. These must be Cyril's colleagues.
You have our thanks, stranger.
Who are you?
Ah, forgive me, my lord. I did not recognize you. You are Lord Rosfield, are you not? We are archaeologians, tasked with surveying this site. When the echoes appeared, our brothers here occupied their attentions. Thanks to them, and to you, we were, for a mercy, able to see our duty to its conclusion.
You call that a mercy? Your brothers might still be alive if you put their safety before your duty. Surely this survey wasn't worth dying for.
We are charged with uncovering Ultima's origins. A duty of the highest import, as I'm sure you will agree.
And you think your dead brothers would agree with you too?
I know they would. They gave their lives for the cause, an honor to which all Undying aspire. Now, to what do we owe the honor of your presence, Lord Marquis?
Cyril told me of your work here, and I agreed to collect your findings in his stead.
I see. That is most kind. Pray, take them then, with our humble thanks. May the Firebird's flame burn ever in your heart, as it does in ours.
It's one thing to lay down your life for another, but for a survey... I suppose I'd better get this back to Cyril.
Think no more of us, my lord. Only deliver our findings to the bearer of the burning quill.
You are returned, my lord.
I collected your colleagues' preliminary findings. Here, take them.
My thanks. I shall study them, and inform you forthwith if I discover aught that might aid you in your fight against Ultima.
Cyril, your survey party suffered several losses in Kretov. Losses which could have been avoided, had the others not chosen to complete their work, instead of saving their friends. Were these your orders?
No. This was their choice. Every Undying devotes his life to the service of the Phoenix. It is our sole duty, and should we die in discharging it, so be it.
Even when death is avoidable.
My lord, I fear that this is not a point over which it would be fruitful to argue. The Undying have served the Phoenix for countless generations, And your opinion of our methods, however earnest, is not like to change them. We live to serve the Phoenix. Our very order exists for that purpose, and that purpose alone.
Cyril, I know that you and your brethren answer only to Joshua, but allow me to offer you a word of advice. It does not further the cause of the Phoenix to have his loyal followers surrender their lives without good reason. Provide your survey parties with an escort, that they might live to do their duty for years to come. Think not only of how you can serve the Phoenix, but how Joshua would want you to serve him. Please. For all our sakes.
I thank you for your advice, my lord. If you will permit me to respond, our faith in his grace, Joshua Rossfield, is absolute. And we of the Undying will do what we believe is right to fulfill our duty unto him. As first shield to the Phoenix, I am sure you understand what it means to do one's duty.
Getting pretty hungry. I want to do all the side quests, but
it is my hope that we
may feels like the goal is still far away. Maybe I'm getting close, I'm not sure. It feels like it's ending. A whole 1.5 seconds, awesome.
The bearer of the burning quill is...
Let me see how the map looks. Maybe there's just one left, okay.
Clive! To what do I owe the pleasure? I just wanted to see how the town's been faring since you brought everyone together.
Since we brought everyone together, all is absolutely wonderful. Conrad and Natalie's hands remain safely away from each other's throats, and firmly at the helm. Our stores are full, and the bandits still too disorganized to raid them. Just as the good Lady Jane and Lord Underhill intended.
Are you a lord? Lubor's going to be one too. They're going to make him the Lord of Dalamil, because of how he stopped all the grown-ups from fighting.
It's the mayor of Dalamil, dear child, and the vote hasn't taken place just yet. But if the people wish me to lead them, I shall. And my first act will be to build a school so that menaces like you two learn not to interrupt your elders. Speaking of menaces, there may be a rather worrying one just over the horizon.
May there indeed.
I'm afraid the example Conrad and Natalie set in putting aside their differences and presenting a united front might have caught the bandits' attention. And they might have elected to take a similar approach. They have formed what one could call a League of Outlaws, and they grow more organized by the day.
We'll fight them all off just like last time, no matter how many of them there are. Won't we, Lubor?
Of course we will. If we continue to work together, we can overcome any challenge we choose to face. The longer we avoid facing this one, the more difficult it will be, until the only way to overcome it might be to run for the hills. Our best hope is to nip these efforts at organization in the bud, by finding those ne'er-do-wells who have yet to join the cause, and ensuring that they never do. Perhaps a certain Lord Underhill might be willing to lend us his aid once more?
How could I refuse?
So you are saying this is the best quest?
Thank you, my lord. Victor will fill you in on the particulars. I have him stationed by the desert gate, receiving and collating reports from my scouts. Such an amenable soul. He reminds me of you.
Oh go and speak with him.
Victor has been collating reports on the bandits in camp. You'll find
Bandits.
The League
Bandits
of
never
Outlaws.
change.
Sounds like we have some competition. Still in Dalamil, Victor?
Ah, Sid.
I thought you'd have returned to Cosnis by now.
Good changes, yo.
I did. Then I came back. I've developed something of a fondness for the place. And having worked so hard to see it saved from one fate, it would seem remiss to abandon it to another. A sentiment Master Lubor certainly isn't shy about exploiting. Hence my doing his bidding yet again.
You're not the only one.
What does he want you to do?
He asked for my aid in putting down the bandits. And he said that you might be able to help me find them.
Then you've come at just the right time. I was on my way to speak with Conrad about how to organize our forces. There are more camps in the vicinity than we can safely strike at once. But we must strike together, and we must strike soon at as many camps as we can. We
As
can't
many,
give
you
this
say?
League of theirs time to
I mean,
rally
it's gonna
its
be more
forces.
than one battle.
All right. Which camp shall I take?
There's one upriver, just out there across the dunes.
Leave it with me.
The camp is in the desert to the north of here. You know what to do.
Those
Just point me in a direction and I'll go kill whoever you want me to. I'm convenient like that.
Time to fight. That must be the camp Victor mentioned. Come on then, Toggle.
That's him! The one who killed Doc and Fingers! Take his head off!
Farewell.
There are no quests after this. This is the last quest, but you know. Stop interrupting me when I'm trying to use my thingy, whatever it was called. The question or quests.
I'd better let Victor know.
Sid, where are you? Ah, I see the bandits didn't pose you any trouble.
No, but
Would have been funny if
that's
it
not why
was
you're
like.
here, is it?
No.
So the bandit camp is just a bit ahead. Oh, I see they have just killed a camp of traders. That's so tragic. And you were like, yeah, let's go kill the bandits. How dare they?
What?
Seems that one of our parties wasn't as thorough as they should have been. They let one of the bandits escape, and his escape route took him right through Dalamil. Some of the children spotted him, and he was about to silence them. And when Lubor felled him with a bolt of magic, and without not a crystal.
Oh, no.
That's not possible. It is, if he's a bearer and has been hiding it all these years, which is what people are saying. If he has, well, I wouldn't blame him. No man is branded by choice. Still, all those people see is a man who's lied to them all his life. One who has made a leader of himself when the world believed he should have been a slave.
How dare he?
I don't know where we go from here, but I know one thing. Lubor needs all the friends he can get right now.
You're right. And now everyone knows. I made it a habit to keep a crystal close at hand for just such an occasion. And when that occasion arose, I forgot to reach for it. Well, it was bound to come out sooner or later.
We're sorry, Lubor. We tried to keep running, but we just couldn't anymore.
There's nothing to be sorry for. I rather enjoyed playing the hero for once. All that matters to me is that you two are safe.
Look at him talking to his betters like it's nothing. All lies, I'll wager. Just like the ones he fed us all these years.
Once people make up their minds, it's hard to change them. We need to do something, and quickly. Convince the people not to let their prejudices blind them.
That's the
Convince
solution
them
here,
that
clearly.
nothing has changed. That their enemy lies outside these walls, not within them.
You're right. We should speak to everyone.
Let's gather everyone together and then blast them to oblivion.
I'll handle the townsfolk. I'm a downmaker.
Round them all up.
Listen to me. You head to the tavern. Make Conrad and Natalie remember who Lubor really is. They know that Lubor and I are friends. I might not make for the most impartial of interlocutors. Lord Underhill of Randalar's League of Merchants, however, is a trusted and impartial mediator of note.
I'll do what I can. Lubor, stay here with the children. I
It's
can't
actually kind of
promise anything,
surprising
but
that we are this far in the story.
try. And that is all I can ask of you.
We still haven't, like, tackled the boogie in the room. And, like, made it our mission to actually change the whole social structure about how the bearers are treated like subhuman. That's actually kind of surprising. That's interesting. Looks like I'm holding it quite easily. I guess it's enough to find distinction in how close I'm keeping it. But yeah, like, even at this late date, we still aren't, like, doing anything to address the main conception that bearers are, like, subhuman, when we have a very good position to do so. I mean, we are independent. We don't care if someone, like, we don't need to be, like, political about it. We are a bearer ourselves. We have a lot of other bearers. We have lots of power. We could just be like, yeah, actually, bearers are good and strong and everything, and if you say otherwise, we'll mess you up. And what are you gonna do about it? I think that would be a valid tactic by now, instead of being like, let's just try to make these slave owners understand that people can still be human even though they're bearers.
Why are you taking the bearers? Why do they always have to make such a fuss?
You all along that he was...
Forgive me for disturbing you, but could I have a moment of your time?
I've seen your face before.
As have I. Lord Underhill, wasn't it? Of the League of Merchants.
That's right. I wanted to speak to you about Lubor.
The rumors that he's a bearer. All true, I'm afraid.
Like, we are basically a revolutionary, but the only thing we are really doing is destroying those mother crystals. Like, we are not really trying to disrupt the social order itself, even though it has been deeply faulty from the beginning, and that's kind of strange that they're not doing it.
Leniency? He pretended to be one of us when he was laughing behind our backs all the while.
I'm sorry, my lord, but he lied to us. He lied to you. He cannot be trusted.
So what do you propose?
Especially after all the major powers have like fallen, we are now one of the biggest military mights, so we have a strong position to argue our case. Basically, like might makes right.
The townsfolk have made their minds up. There was nothing I could do.
Nor I. Conrad and Natalie refused to consider anything but their own wounded pride.
You never know. Once their anger is cooled, they might see things differently. For now, we should report back to Lubor.
I still expect they will do something with that, at least in maybe a bit weaker way at the end or whatever, but I'm starting to have some doubts. It feels like it should be like one of the main themes in the game, considering how heavily it's been present in like all the quest lines.
Go on, Sid. No sense stalling. Lubor needs to know the truth.
I assume the situation is hopeless?
There's still hope. But...
But perhaps not in this lifetime, I think it's fair to say.
You mustn't think like that, Lubor. Give them time. They'll come around. We'll talk some sense into them in the end, you'll see.
No, you won't. And your efforts would be better spent elsewhere.
But Lubor...
Rosina would often tell me that steel does not lie, that a blade is a reflection of the smith who forged it. To yourself be true, that was her point. Rather an ironic one when you consider that her life was taken with a blade of her own making. But I do not doubt that she was always true to herself and what she believed in, right to the end. And so must I be. I must do what I know to be right, no matter what others might think of me. And now, I know what that is.
Killing everyone in town.
My new role of villain, so that the people of Dalimil have something to unite against.
Oh yeah.
For only united can they hope to stand against the threat that awaits them. I'll need to make a suitably dramatic exit, of course.
Don't go, Lubor. You're the only one who was ever kind to us. We'll be all alone. Again.
Trust me, little ones. It is for the best that I go. Not only for the town, but for you, too.
How could it possibly be for the best? These children need you. The least you can do is give the townspeople a chance to change their minds.
They would not take it, Victor. It's over.
Over, you say? And so just like that, you're going to throw this town and these children to the wolves? I thought you were better than this. But it seems you had me fooled as well.
Victor.
Forget it. Do what you will.
You sure you're making the right choice, Lubor?
Of those
No, of course he's not.
I believe it's the best
Yeah, I guess it's because it's another one of the slavery ones, and all of them have pretty much been like
reward for clearing out that bandit camp.
kind of bad. Like the protagonist is never really taking any stand. Like we try to like help the slaves themselves, but we don't try to enact any change around their situation really. And even here it's the same. Like, okay, now that it was revealed that I'm a demon, of course I must leave the city. And they were like, well, I guess so. It's consistent with the other slavery quests and stuff, but it's not great.
I'm going to go with him. I'm going to go with him. Why is everyone being mean to Lubor? He didn't do anything wrong.
Is there something more to it? I think I'm done with all the quests except returning this. But I guess that will have a follow-up quest later on.
Come back.
Oh, don't tell me we've run out of papio nuts and all.
The man himself.
The man that meets
We
the
were just
legend.
about to make a start on that sword I promised you.
It's funny, but none of this would have been possible without your help. You remember Camille? We'll be using his level work for the grip. The steel, meanwhile, will be tempered in a fire, burning the cinders you charmed out of old Zoltan here. And that whetstone from the Outer Isles, that'll be what gives the blade its edge. And the final flourish will be my talented colleagues' engraving.
A team effort led by the greatest blacksmith alive.
Now, save that talk till the thing's finished, yeah? Right. I'm ready if you are.
To the bellows it is then.
Sometime later.
We actually did it.
The sword to end all swords. Ragnarok.
It's quite something.
I trust you'll
But will it give +5 attack?
Thank you. Both of you.
That's
So,
the real question.
Does this make you pair the greatest craftsman alive, then?
This? Nah. This was just following the footsteps of the greats of old. It'll take more than that to earn us our place in history. But we're up for the challenge. Here.
A list of materials.
Zoltan and I got talking on the long road back from Dravost.
We reckon with those items there,
No, it's
we could
Ragnarok.
craft something even better than the Ragnarok. Something worthy of a legendary outlaw like yourself.
That's a weapon I'd like to see. You leave this list with me.
I was hoping you'd say that.
One legend at a time, eh, lads? Before you start on the next, who fancies raising a cup to friendship reforged?
Good idea. No more drinking to forget my past. It's about time I had something to celebrate.
Then tap the kegs! Vulcan's boys are on their way!
Did I get a revenue up? Yeah, in a while. No, it's 50. I think DLC raised it to 55. Ah, I see. $25, that's like the biggest weapon upgrade ever. Awesome.
Trouble with your gear, or... I never thought me and Zoltan would ever speak again, let alone work together.
I'm pretty sure I won't have the materials for it, but let's see.
We wouldn't. You've been a good friend of me, Clive. The best. What's that for you, dear?
Yeah, I'm not even close. I'm pretty sure I will never be crafting this one. Because I don't care to grind some monsters.
Anything else?
Yes, we'll see.
Run out of Papio nuts and all.
In Los, there will be found. What is that English? In Los, there will be found. Found what?
Adrift on foam-flecked peaks, despair.
I heard that one before.
Then again, why settle for low?
With Canva in the hands of Akashic,
Ah, Sid! Wasn't expecting you back so soon. So, is it good news or bad?
Good, thankfully. Here.
That's brilliant! Thanks a blimmin' million! I'll fit into the smelter right away!
It's melting time. Sometime later.
I present to you the Telemon Furnace! Ain't bad, is she?
She's a beauty.
You saved my bacon again, Sid, and I ain't about to let your good deed go unrewarded.
It's fine, really. My bag's flexible enough already.
Oh, don't say that. I'm sure I can make a few improvements to it yet.
You could just buy me a bigger...
How about that clasp? Looks a bit stiff. Reckon you could loosen it up and make some more room? And I reckon I know how. With a new alloy we've been working on. The Telemon Furnace was just what we needed to perfect it. It's a metal, see? So it's lovely and strong, but it's also, well, stretchy, if you can believe it.
Stretchy metal. Well, if you insist.
Bah,
You
it's
think?
the spirit. You'll love it, I promise. So, what do you reckon?
It's actually quite ingenious. Thank you, Owain.
Shh, don't mention it. You earned it. And I wanted to get some practice in using that metal anyway.
Reckon we'll have all kinds of uses for it around the hideaway. Can't think of any right now, but that's our job, innit? Dreaming up new ways to make life easier around here. Maybe even out there, too. One day, the whole world's gonna know about the inventions you've helped us put together. That bag of yours will be the first of many. You mark my words.
They'll hardly believe their eyes, I'm sure.
I didn't actually think we would be getting even more potions. It's not like I really need to remember. Well, sounds like it was the final potion upgrade.
Right then. Let's get back to work. These world-changing inventions ain't gonna invent themselves.
Okay, I think I'm done with the side quests for now. Which makes this a good place to stop before we have to get back to the boring main story stuff again. So, cheers for watching. I'll be back again, hopefully a bit sooner this time, because it seems like I have a lot of progress left to make on the game. Bye bye!